I don't want to tell you guys I told you so, but I told you so. Primal Clash is being reprinted in the same way that Roaring Skies just a month or two ago was reprinted. I said this could potentially be Armageddon. This could be the end of the recent Pokemon era in terms of collecting or investing. And people thought, no way, because it was a one-time thing with Roaring Skies. Shaman was just too expensive. It was for the game. Great for those people out there that like to collect and, whatnot. But, breaking news that Primal Clash is now reprinted, has hit the market, is on eBay now, selling by cases. The price went from $200 a box to probably will go under $100 a box. The investment just got cut in half overnight, most likely. Recording this probably an hour after I heard the news, but what is Pokemon doing? What is it? I'm probably the only one not surprised because, like I said in my Ancient Origins video, check it out. I thought reprinting Roaring Skies was like an Armageddon, the end of the world, the end of Pokemon current cards. And it's looking sure like that. The fact that Pokemon decides to reprint anything that they call, quote, out of print is insane. It's just showing that there can be no trust between them and anybody else on the market. They could do whatever they want. And, by reprinting these sets, at what cost ultimately will it pay in the long term? You're talking about, they're going to make, obviously, why are they reprinting it? Not to help the players out, because they want to help make more money. They want to help their bottom line. They didn't care if Shaman was going for $80 and Roaring Skies. They just wanted to sell more product, and they knew if they put more booster boxes of Roaring Skies on the market, people will buy them up like hotcakes because it was a high-demand product. So now with Primal Clash, they're saying, wow, that really worked with Roaring Skies, as it should have. Now, as I said in my other video as well, they're going to say, you know what? We made some good money. Everyone made some money. Distributors and wholesalers, they all made some money too, right? So now let's reprint a second product. And you know what's going to happen? Which most likely, if I'm predicting, most likely will happen after this. They're going to reprint a third, a fourth, a fifth, a sixth product until they just keep printing money. They're basically printing boxes, which is money, printing money at this point, because they know the demand for their cards is so high. Okay, but this is super concerning to everyone because, again, the trust has been broken. Out of print is no longer out of print. What they say can't be trusted. Take it with a grain of salt. You never know what you're going to get. All that kind of stuff. But let's compare this, okay? Let's compare this to the sport card industry, the sport card market. How did the sport card industry die? How did it die? Now this is, again, die, as in it was super hot. We're talking 80s, 90s area. How did it die? It's what happened when these companies just mass produce. Boom, boom, boom. They say, wow, our stuff sells so much, right? People are paying so much on the secondary market for these certain rookie cards that we are going to produce so many, so everyone has a chance at it, and we're going to make so much money ourselves as a company. So they're mass producing, and what happens to the sport cards? They're worthless. Nobody wants, $100 cards are worth $5 because they're printed to oblivion to the point where there is no demand anymore for that stuff. And now the cards aren't worth anything. The boxes aren't worth anything. And the interest did go down after that. It was a very good business, and the interest did go down. Now, current cards, I could get a whole video on that. That's all based on hits and inserts and memorabilia and whatnot. I'm a collector myself. That's a mess too, but again, that's a separate video. You're talking about overproduction to the max. This is what Pokemon's doing. They're getting greedy and greedy and greedy and greedy, and they just keep pushing out this product, pushing out this money because they just coming back to them. It's just unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Who's to say that Pokemon, now that they have the rights, I believe, correct me guys if I'm wrong, over Wizards, it used to be Wizards of the Coast. Now the Pokemon company now has rights to, I believe, produce anything that Wizards of the Coast did. Again, this is my understanding from everything I've read. If this is true, right, all of the sudden, Pokemon can produce whatever they want and reprint whatever they want, and they could make a killing on some of these old sets where boxes are $500, $600, $700, $800. They could make, what if for some unknown reason they want to say, oh, we're going to give the nostalgia back to the player, we're going to produce fire red, leaf green boxes. Something, I don't know, it wouldn't make sense. But what Pokemon's doing now, it doesn't make sense. They keep reproducing for the players, right? But in reality, it's for the bottom line of the company. And it's just devaluing their product by putting more and more and more on the market and flooding the market. Now all of a sudden people who've held cases and hundreds of cases of cards will no longer invest in Pokemon. They're gonna say, no, I'm afraid of that. I'm not gonna buy that. And so the demand overall, and from the big buyers for Pokemon, the demand will ultimately go down. People will get pissed that their cards are worthless. They're gonna say, you know, the highest valued card I can get from a box worth $100 is $20, and that's if I get lucky. So the people will say, you know, I'm sick of getting no return on my investment. In this case, no return from my $100 purchase. There's nothing to look forward to. Singles go down, box prices go down, everything goes down as a result. And that is how you have a slippery slope that just crashes the market, crashes the demand for the product. So Pokemon, they're getting greedy now in terms of the cards, but if they don't be careful, if they keep reproducing these sets, which I think they will, and reprinting these sets, you gotta think, over time, you know, if this happens for 10, 20 years, the demand ultimately for this stuff will be obsolete. There'll be no demand for this current stuff if they keep on this pace. But even the way older stuff, people will just lose interest and they'll get annoyed, and that's what's going to happen because they're not going to have anything of value. You know, nothing of value. There's no longer a first edition print run. Okay, so look, if you're going to do this, Pokemon, why would you not have a first edition and an unlimited edition like you did in the old days? Now with no first edition and no unlimited edition, now there's no difference. There's no difference between the products. At least, if you wanted to reprint the product, if there was an unlimited version, why not just make a first edition set, easy, and then make an unlimited set where the players can play, collectors can go after those first edition cards, the same cards in first edition. Why not go back to that strategy if you're going to be reprinting all these sets again? Makes no sense, guys. I'm not shocked, because like I said in my other video about Ancient Origins, I did think that was the start of something very bad. Very, very bad. It seems like it's Armageddon. And this is yet another step towards demise, potentially, of recent Pokemon cards. If Pokemon doesn't get their act together in terms of what they say, in terms of strategy, just simple business strategy, they're going to look at some trouble for the cards. People will not be happy. Values will plummet. And it's just a grim day, and a grim situation. And this is coming from somebody that had no Primal Clash. I had no interest in Primal Clash. I had none of it. I had none of Roaring Skies. But again, they took another step in the wrong direction. In the direction that many companies in sports cards back in the day took. And they ultimately got burned. So, we will have to see what happens. Leave your comments below. Thanks.